Hey yo, what is going on everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, we are back here with another tier list, and this one's going to be part 2 of the best cards tier list that you guys may have seen earlier. If you haven't watched that one, make sure you guys check the link in the description down below. We covered all of the cards from the F up to the C tier, and obviously this one we're doing all the B to the S tier cards. If you guys want to see any of these cards, at their certain positions, the PG, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers tier list will be linked down in the description down below, as well as the pink diamond and diamonds that we have as well. So you guys can check all of those wonderful videos out down below if you guys want to. Have some fun with it. Also, I will say that Baron Davis, Chris Webber will both be included on this list, as well as some of the new cards that dropped from the set, that just the ones that I felt like were up in the B, A, and S tiers from today's Idol series set. We included those, but none of the other lower rated ones. We're not going to go back and cover those. So without further ado, let's start off with the B tier, where we have Andre Iguodala. Iggy, just a great defender, a great slasher, pretty good shooter, just really, again, a pretty good card at basically everything. Could just do everything really, really well. Yeah, nothing really too wrong with him. I just don't personally like his release that much, but I know some people that just absolutely love Iggy. Next up, we do have the Amethyst Hedo Turkoglu. Hedo Turkoglu is just one of those guys that I feel like always plays so above his level, just because his jump shot feels smooth. I hate it on the shorter guys, but on Hedo, it just feels nice. The Pro 6 behind the back on a 6'10" guy is just godly. And when you badge up this Hedo Turkoglu to really have some crazy defense, he really is just like that next level guy. So you gotta get love to Hedo. Next up is Pink Diamond Patrick Ewing, a card that honestly has kind of fallen from grace for me a little bit. I know some people that still view this, Ewing as insane, an amazing card, and he's still really good. I just feel like obviously he's going to be doing Patrick Ewing things, play defense, in the post, rebound, all that wonderful stuff, and even hit the occasional midi. But for Ewing, I feel like that jump shot just isn't that amazing. So even though he has a decent 3-point rating, he's really not hitting any. And even though he has a really good midi, he's not going to feel that amazing because that jumper is just booty. Next up is George Girvin, a card that really, my only two gripes on it are that I don't like the jump shot 40 base as like a off dribble kind of jump shot. So to me personally, it's just a negative because I feel like he just puts him as a catch and shoot kind of guy, kind of like a 3-and-D aspect, which isn't terrible, but for me that's not exactly who I want to be using up in those higher tier cards. So George Gervin's great, just for me. Yeah, feels more of like just an off-ball player, and there's a bunch of guys that can play off-ball just as well. Next up is Pink Diamond Dominique Wilkins, one of the Idol series cards, who is just beautiful. Dominique is missing obviously a few key badges like range extender, like quick first step, and once you add him, I feel like he is super solid, but again, isn't going to have those dribbling animations that's really going to give you that super cheesy kind of quick, amazing feel, which is a little bit tough, so I thought B tier was pretty solid for Dominique. Next up is Pink Diamond Derrick Rose, a guy who came in the double take set and is amazing because he's so quick. That Hall of Fame quick first step is just amazing. It still has great defense, still shoots really good, even if you don't add a range extender on him, and is one of the best slashers that you could get at the PG position. Just plays great, and I love the D Rose jump shot. Obviously, if you add range, he'll be even better, but there was a lot of PGs that I felt like I would definitely take above Derrick Rose, so he kind of got pushed down into B because there was just too many. Next up is Elgin Baylor, one of the cards that's actually a card that's been in the game tied for the longest. Even if you get him up to Galaxy level, which I've done myself, this Elgin Baylor is still pretty limited in the fact that it doesn't have any sort of range extender, so he can't shoot from deep. Is actually limited in any of his 3-point hot zones because it doesn't have any of those, but he's still super quick, still an insane slasher. He's a great defender, is just undersized, and that lack of hot zones means that not everybody is going to be an amazing shooter with him, although I haven't had too much of a problem with it, but it's still definitely a big limitation on him. Next up is Diamond Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is that jack of all trades, versatile center card that actually I feel like plays the center really well, even though he is 6'9". It has great ability at the power forward because he's just got all around amazing defense. He even has quick first step to really kind of beat guys off the dribble at the 3 or the 4 and the 5, which is great. Can even shoot a little bit if you give him a nice little shoot and coach boost, which is great, and is still an amazing finisher. Bam Adebayo is actually kind of a diva. I've seen some people talk some trash about him, but like, man oh man, try him out, he nice. Next up, we have Diamond Arvydas Sabonis, a guy who actually is only hurt by the fact that he is slow and doesn't have a rebound chaser. If he, had even a 75 speed on Arvydas Sabonis. It actually kind of would make him overpowered, so I understand why they didn't. But also, Arvydas is a super tall, I think like 7'2", 7'3", center or stretch big that doesn't have rebound chaser. And if your center doesn't have rebound chaser, obviously he's just not getting rebounds. So that's why I put Arvydas down into the B tier. Next up, we have Diamond Glitched Tim Duncan. Obviously, it's Timmy D. He does everything beautiful. I mean, you know what Tim Duncan's bringing you. Mid-range assassin. He's going to play in the post like crazy. He's going to play defense and even on the perimeter with this card. And because he glitched, he gets even better shooting. Again, I don't like the fact that this Tim Duncan is that slow. It's a constant gripe that I have with a lot of the center cards that makes them feel not exactly amazing. Although Timmy D is primary power forward. Yeah, just a slight hurt on it, but Tim Duncan is still amazing. I still think he can play really, really well, even though some people don't like his jump shot gets a little bit slow. Next up, Diamond Scottie Pippen, one of my favorite cards to have used recently, and that is because Scottie literally does everything well and is the best defender that I've used. Period. Best defender in the game, period. Scottie Pippen. He just clamps everything up on the perimeter, even plays great interior defense as well. Actually, had a few possessions where I shut down Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in triple threat, which is insane. He shoots better than you would think because basically everybody leaves him wide open thinking that you're not going to be a consistent shooter with him, and then you go ahead and spray it, which is crazy, and is an insane slasher, great in the fast break, just great overall, and I feel like he's a nice card to just have everywhere. But he can't play the 2 that great because he's, even though he's a good shooter, the reason he's great at small forward is because he's always in the corner. As the 2, you're kind of more at the wing, and sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, and I prefer to have my 2 guards have range, so that's why I threw him into B and not up into A. Next up is Rudy Gobert, who is basically just a worse Tim Duncan. So yeah, next up is Diamond Rayford Alston. Rayford Alston has that beautiful Trey Burke base. Obviously a jumper that we all love. It is beautiful. It is wonderful. It is smooth. He's got silver range extender. He's got an awesome driving dunk and dunks on everybody's head, even though maybe a little bit low, and he is a little bit undersized, but the shooting is just amazing. He still plays solid defense. He play makes great, and he just feels amazing. I love Rayford Alston. Plus, he's free, so how could you not love him? Next up is Diamond Jamal Murray, one of the best offensive cards I've used in the game, because of that Curry slide and his smooth jumper. Even can dunk in everybody's head. He can play make great, obviously like he should at the PG position. And if you do add, some defensive badges to him, he has some pretty good defensive stats to actually hold his own once he has those and not really let it up. So if you really invest in a Jamal Murray, I think he could be a definite, really top PG because offensively he's just amazing. Next up is Pascal Siyakum, that jack-of-all-trades card that is going to come out there and just do everything for you. He's going to shoot a little bit. He's going to dunk everybody's head. He can still play make. He's still super quick. He can play defense all around on everybody, grab boards, run the fast break, even kind of run the point a little bit if you wanted him to. Pascal Siakam, I mean, he's just amazing. Honestly, kind of recommend him on every team. Just like to me, he kind of feels like a slightly worse defensive but better offensive Jonathan Isaac, basically how I can describe him. Next up is Diamond Eddie Jones, basically one of the best 3-and-D cards in the entire game. Just hits all the threes that you would want in the world, has a pretty smooth jump shot, and plays amazing defense. And he also can slash a little bit too, which is always great when your 3-and-D guy can kind of give you a little bit more than just 3-and-D and can kind of be a threat somewhere else on the court, which Eddie Jones does perfectly. Next up is Diamond David Robinson, beautiful center. Maybe not the most amazing stretch big. He kind of feels more like a post guy that can still hit it from deep, which is interesting, but super smooth jump shot. Even though he has a slightly low rating, I was still able to hit super consistently with David Robinson. He still does all the defense, still does all the rebounding that you want in post game. Love D-Rob. And last but not least, into the B tier, we do have Amethyst Chris Paul. The best budget PG in the game was Ruby Chris Paul, and now it is Amethyst Chris Paul. CP3 is amazing. He's got range. He's got everything you want besides dunking, and that's why we held him in the B tier, because if Chris Paul had a dunking ability, he would be in A tier. That's just facts, because he even finishes great with that Hoff Giant Slayer and the Curry layups without dunking, which is crazy. So you add that to him, and then there'd be nothing that this Chris Paul can't do besides be tall. So it's great. Now, starting off the A tier, we have Pink Diamond Anthony Davis, a card that I held out just because I felt like there were some other guys who played the same position that did great. But Anthony Davis only is limited by the fact that badges can't get all the way upgraded, like how his clamps just stays at bronze, which is tough. But the AD jump shot is smooth. He plays great defense, and his player build is just amazing. AD is just an overall awesome card. Next up is Pink Diamond Aaron Gordon, a guy that we will actually be getting access to tomorrow or Friday, this January 1st. And AG is going to be one of those guys who is an amazing slasher. Like, seriously, he's going to dunk in everybody's head. 97 driving and standing dunk, which is great, and still is going to be one of the most versatile defenders in the entire game, while having a really capable outside shot, although a slightly slow release, and it's going to be great. He's just not going to be a guy that you can really kind of cheese with or speed boost with, which is why, although he's got some amazing things, I felt like A tier was good for him, because there's other guys that can do what he can do, but also be those, like, you know, cheesy demigods that you would also kind of want to. Next up is Pink Diamond Wayne Embry, a card that is only limited by the fact that he is a 6'8" center, and that's really about it. The D-low jump shot feels great on him. Obviously, he plays amazing defense, especially at the power forward, just not at the center, because obviously he's only 6'8", so, you know, the big 7'2" Arvydas Sabonis is probably going to pump Wayne Embry a little bit. But just having all of the ability and amazing stats that Wayne Embry has, great finishing, great defense, great shooting, and great playmaking, I just love him, man. You gotta love Wayne Embry, especially when you get 3 of them like I did for free from the vault. Next up is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. MJ just has, obviously, that smooth MJ jump shot, which is always really nice, and I feel like it's actually better this year than it has been in previous years, which is awesome. Obviously, one of the best wing defenders you could use in the game, just locks everybody up, plays amazing defense, and is one of the best slashers in the game. And even when you throw on a good, you know, 3-point shoe, a good, you know, catch and shoot, so, you know, the shooting badges. I forget exactly which ones you got to add, but once you add all those shooting badges, he actually is a very, very capable shooter as well, which you gotta love. Next up is Pink Diamond LeBron James. LeBron is, to me, one of those jack-of-all-trades players that doesn't do anything amazing besides finishing. Like, he just does everything really, really well, but most of his badges that he has are silver badges, and that's the only thing that's holding LeBron James back at this point. And that was so that they could make it another LeBron James, maybe even, you know, a 96 Pink Diamond later on that has some gold badges that feels even better. But the LeBron James jumper is beautiful, and it's going to be great. Next up is Pink Diamond Julius Irving, a card that's been in the game a while, just like Elgin Baylor, so I don't feel like I need to spend a lot of time on him. It's just the Rudy Gay jump shot base, has a beautiful behind the back, and just does everything great. The only thing that hurts him is the fact that you do have to add quite a lot of shooting badges to get him to that, you know, top tier. Next up is Pink Diamond Josh Smith. Josh Smith is one of those guys that, again, is just a versatile power forward and small forward. He just does everything that you would want at both positions. He can shoot the 3-ball pretty well, albeit it's not his, you know, strongest suit. Is an amazing slasher, is an amazing versatile defender that can play basically everybody, can even kind of hold his own against some centers, and just really do everything well, play make a bit, do everything great. Josh Smith, amazing. Next up is Pink Diamond Jason Tatum. The only knack that I've ever seen people talk about this card, like the only bad thing is that they think his jump shot is slightly slow. I personally haven't found a problem with it, but this Jason Tatum can play the 4 and the 3 perfectly because he's got great perimeter and interior defense. He's going to dunk on everybody. He's going to play great defense, and the only thing that I don't like about him is the fact that his tendencies, they're terrible. That's really about it. Next up is Pink Diamond Jalen Brown, the free limited reward from last season, and Jalen Brown has a beautiful, smooth, silky smooth jumper, which I absolutely love. You just need to add, you know, quick first step, range center, things like that to really get him to this top tier, and if you did it, your Jalen Brown is going to be an absolute demon, and really, he's going to be amazing. He's already a great defender, already a great slasher. He just needs that quick first step to be a little bit quicker, and that range center to be a bit of a bigger threat on offense, and then it really opens his game up. Next up is Pink Diamond Giannis Antetokounmpo, a player that is always on the top of the list is Giannis, because it's just, I mean, it's Giannis, man. He's just so cheesy. His animations are so beautiful. His player build is so amazing that it really just helps him out of everything. This card is one of the most amazing slashes you could have, because you really can just run to the paint and lay up over everybody. It really doesn't even matter because of Giannis's long arms, and he plays defense amazing. He's super quick. He's just great. The only limitation is obviously his shooting. Next up is Pink Diamond Dave Cowans. Dave Cowans is, again, one of those, you know, centers who's slightly undersized, but because of that, they really juiced up everything that he has. He's really only limited in badges and the fact that his jump shot one jumper isn't the most amazing, but once you throw up a few shooting badges into there, he's going to be a great, you know, pick and pop, catch and shoot kind of guy. He's still going to slash great and play really good all-around defense. Just the same problem as Wayne Embry, and we're not going to be able to play some of those, I guess, taller centers very well because we're too tiny. Next up is Diamond Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis has the Curry jump shot, just no Curry slide, which honestly ain't that bad. But in trade-off, you get a 98 driving dunk, which is definitely a beautiful thing to have. Still plays great defense. Still is really shifty and really nice. And most people that I've gone against with this Monte Ellis really just love the card and have had a great time with it. He's really a pretty difficult card to stop because he's just a demon on offense and still good on the other side. Next up is Dominic Glenn Robinson, a card that I understand feels a little bit better on current gen, I think, because his jumper is just, I think it's jump shot 29, just a little bit smoother on current gen. But Glenn Robinson, again, just one of those 3-and-D guys that is so good at that role that it just kind of skyrockets him up the list. Next up is Diamond Chris Bosh. I absolutely love this Chris Bosh. Seriously is amazing. They give him gold range off rip, which is just beautiful. Whenever a card can get range off rip, you love it. Still plays really solid defense. Still rebounds really well. He's a post god, and I've honestly been able to kind of just grab the board with Chris Bosh, run down, and just dunk on everybody's head like it's nothing. And then you can run the pick and pop beautifully. He just opens up so many avenues on everything for you. And because he sells, I think, a 6'10", 6'11" frame, he really doesn't feel like a pup either, which is great. Chris Bosh, he's a demon. Next up is Diamond John Stockton. John Stockton is just, again, a beaut. Has a super quick, super smooth jump shot. He's going to dunk in everybody's head. When you add a few badges to him, he's going to be pretty nice. I think even has bronze range, which is perfectly fine for me at the PG position right now in the year, and still plays some amazing defense. He's definitely outdated. Definitely is going to slowly drop down the list because of how old he is, but still a great card. Next up is the Amethyst Donovan Mitchell. Purely a card that benefits off getting stuff added to him because you can add all of these wonderful, amazing things like range center and all that sort of stuff. But once you do, Mitchell has that jump shot forward, jump shot base, which is beautiful. A great behind the back, great animations in general, dunks in everybody's head, and a 6'10" wingspan despite being 6'1", which really helps him out. And last but not least, into the A tier, we do have Diamond Brook Lopez, a card that did drop today. And Brook Lopez is a 7-foot stretch big, and in my opinion, one of the best stretches in the game because his release, Brook Lopez jump shot base, is one of the smoothest in the game, and it feels great on those taller centers. And then also still plays defense amazing in the paint, still rebounds well because, I mean, it's Brook Lopez. He's a 7-foot guy, and a little bit slow with the 70 speed, but when you're that good of a stretch big, you play that good of defense, you're that good in the post, and that good at rebounding, I think you can kind of ignore that just a little bit, although it is definitely a bit of a negative. And last but not least, we do have the S tier, starting off with Pink Diamond Cameron Radish. I mean, the PG base, sadly, the nerfed Pro 5. RIP for everybody that had Pro 5 and just isn't as amazing anymore. But the PG jump shot base, one of the best defenders in the game that I have used. Like, whenever you see somebody that has Cam Reddish on their team, you're a little bit scared because you know he's going to lock somebody up and then is going to come on the other side, dunking everybody and shoot a load of threes, which is beautiful. Cam Reddish, he's a demon. Next up is Pink Diamond Blake Griffin. I mean, we all know all of the cards that are going to be level 40 rewards are going to be up at the S tier. Blake Griffin, when the right badges, is amazing. His jumper is smooth. It is nice. He plays great defense. He has that massive, just fat player build, so nobody really pumps him in the post. He dunks on everybody's head with some of the nastiest animations you've ever seen. Blake is just a beast because he can even speed boost and feel really great. You can just grab the board, run down, and use Blake as just a one-man offense. It's great. Pink Diamond Steph Curry is next on the list, the best shooter in the entire game, and that is bar none. Curry is amazing. He's a demon. You can shoot from behind half when you get that sharpshooter takeover and triple threat. It is just overpowered. Still dunks, still plays great defense. I love Curry. Next up is Pink Diamond Paul George, who is basically just a better Cam Reddish, which is crazy to say. Great dribbling animations, a great jump shot, dunks on everybody, plays great defense, arguably better defense than Reddish, and yeah, he's just amazing. If you liked the Diamond PG, just imagine how great this Pink Diamond Paul George is going to be. Next up, we have Pink Diamond Kevin Durant. Pink Diamond KD is one of those cards that every year, or KD is always one of those guys every year that's really good because he's super tall, super shifty, and his jumper is just, you know, silky smooth. Next up is Pink Diamond Joel Embiid, the center that I view above everybody else, bar none, the best center in the entire game, at least before Chris Webber came in the game. He argued that Chris Webber is the better at the center position, but Joel Embiid is one of the only centers I feel like that can really clamp up on defense, still has really good speed, still can play in the post, still can rebound well, and has a range extender given to him in silver range, so he can shoot from deep. And there really isn't a negative in this Embiid's game because you don't need to cheese and speed boost with a center, so there's no reason to talk about that being a negative. Next up is Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade. If you've used this Opal Wade, you know. I've lost, I think, one game since getting this Wade because he's just that good. Seriously, gets so many contact dunk animations, seriously dunks on everybody's head, does whatever he wants, plays amazing defense with his Hall of Fame clamps, his 97 speed just feels beautiful, and he does whatever he wants on the court because he even has the gold range extender to shoot from deep. He's a demon. Next up is Diamond Zion Williamson, another card that is just absolutely beautiful. Zion, they gave him range for whatever reason, so he's an amazing shooter. Zion's a great slasher and a great defender. The only thing that sucks is I don't love him at the power forward because he's a little bit undersized, but depending on the matchups that you get against there, it can be okay and you can kind of make it work. Next up is Pink Diamond J.R. Smith, who was kind of just a slightly worse Cameron Radish, an amazing shooter, an amazing slasher, pretty good defender, pretty good playmaker, does everything really great, and you gotta love cards that have Hall of Fame range extender. I mean, come on, they're great, and it makes him just a demon. J.R. Smith, he's a beautiful card. Next up is Diamond Andre Karolinko, my favorite card to use right now in the game, next to Dwayne Wade and Curry, because Andre Karolinko is the second best defender that I've used in the game. Scottie, I think I'd have first, but Andre Karolinko I definitely have second. And on top of that, we can shoot significantly better than a Scottie Pippen. We have amazing jump shot 98 jump shot base, good badges there, and we have an amazing dunking ability. Andre Karolinko seriously is a demon. Next up is Galaxy Opal Chris Webber and Baron Davis. I really don't have to explain it too much. Chris Webber has some of the most amazing stats you could ever see on a card. Like, it's actually kind of unreal. And Baron Davis is basically Damian Lillard with the Curry slide and defense, which, how could you not love that? And the last two cards that we do have in the S tier are Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. I'm going to assume that most people kind of know what these cards are doing, just because they've been out for a little while. They've been out today, so most people, know them because they're fresh in their mind. But Larry Bird, one of the best shooters in the entire game. I think I still would take Curry out of him, but Larry Bird is just amazing. Still plays great defense and actually has insane dunking despite a 75 driving dunk. Like, amazing animations, which is crazy. Kind of cool. And then Magic Johnson is obviously Magic Johnson. He's super tall, which really kind of just helps him out and still has everything great besides his shooting, which is interesting. Well, it kind of makes sense for a Magic Johnson card, but overall, it's really, really good. So that's all we have for this tier list for the part 2 of the, best cards in the game tier list. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Is anybody that I messed up or missed in this B through S tier that you are adamant that is amazing? Make sure you guys like the video, guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next video.